welcome in everybody to another episode of the Brett Allen Show. Today, we are talking about Spirit Halloween, the movie. Talk about life imitating art in a major way. We have the cast with us as well as the director. Thank you all so much for your time and for spending a little bit of time with us to talk about this great movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with you, David, because this is a great film. And of course, I guess I would say if you're not familiar with a Spirit Halloween store, they're literally everywhere. Let's talk about this and sort of your inspiration and how this whole project came about for you.
Sure. I'll try to give an abbreviated history, and I have to speak a little bit for the writer, Billy Bates. She wrote this several years ago, certainly inspired by the Spirit Halloween and her kids' infatuation with the store. And she wanted to write a script that her kids would really enjoy, write that type of movie. And she said the idea came to her one day, driving away from the store, almost in completion. I know the script went through some different versions before it found itself to ours. I think she won some film festival awards just based on the script a few years ago. But when we got the project, when it came across, my connection was Hideout Pictures. I'd done a lot of work with them over the years. This is my feature, but I've done a lot of music video and commercial work. And Shannon and Potsy over there reached out to me, and I had never considered doing a PG Halloween movie before. It had not something that I'd thought about. Oh, that's what but kind of almost immediately reading the script and thinking about what it would be, what it would take, and what this movie could be. I got really excited about it. I felt it was like a chance to channel your 10-year-old self, make a movie. If you were to make a scary movie, but for families and kids, that was a unique challenge, and something that I don't think that a huge amount of those exist anymore. There's some good ones from the past. I think of Monster Squad being a great reference.
Oh, such a classic. Yeah.
And so it's like, and I think Stranger Things brought back this appetite for throwback horror. But where I feel like Stranger Things is made for adults in our nostalgia, I wanted to make a movie. We all wanted to make a movie, including Billy, that was for the kids it was about. Maybe even younger. I feel like our kids are coming of age, a year away from high school. And I feel like they would be role models to the audience, the target audience.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, Monster Squad. That's such a great film. And I know people have been fanning for that, to have a sequel for that for decades, but I digress. Yeah, this is a really good movie. And I think the cast that has been chosen, again, we're chatting with Jaiden and Donovan. Jaiden, we'll jump to you. This is a great film. What interested you in doing this? How were you approached, and what made you go, this is something that I want to be a part of?
Well, in the beginning, I got the script for Bo, and I really liked his character because he had a passion for science, but he wasn't like too nerdy in a way, and that's what I really liked about him. But I got the script for the audition. I did the audition, then I did a few callbacks and a chemistry read with Donovan and Dylan and Marissa, and that's when I felt like, yeah, this movie's for me, because I feel like the cast is really nice, and the director is like fantastic.
He's right there, so you better say good things about him. I'm just kidding. Teasing.
Yeah, but when I came on set, I knew that this is a movie that I felt like I needed to do, because I actually have younger siblings, and I feel like that they are both looking for a movie that's not too scary, but not too like kiddish in a way.
Sure.
So I felt like a lot of more people needed that.
Yeah, that's a very good point too. And to the other topic here about that David mentioned is finding films that you can watch with your children. You know what I mean? Because I have
Yeah.
an 8-year old, and I don't know. I think young kids, just in general, are fascinated with the spooky and the scary, but you don't want something that's going to give them nightmares for days. So, I think having seen this, I think that you all hit the nail on the head with it, and really or familiar with Spirit Halloween stores. And then, of course, your lead cast as well, in addition to everybody else, it just really makes for a great film. Again, we'll wrap here with Donovan. I'm very curious. Your character is fun. He's hilarious. He's a little bit pretentious, but this is just, you do really good. How do you get into the mindset of a character like this when you're creating and when you finally have the script?
Yeah, so I got the script and I just felt like it's a lot like myself. So that definitely makes it a lot easier during the filming process to kind of just go into my character. And you can kind of just put yourself in, just really imagine that you're doing whatever the character was doing, and then just act how you would have acted. And obviously, I put in notes in the script before, and I try to decide what's the best way to act in certain places. But a lot of it is trying to act in the moment and figure out what what emotions should I be doing in that moment, and like how much of it should I be doing.
I love it. Well, David, one last question here. Again, when you are choosing to create content, to do movies, any project really that you have been challenged or presented with, is there one thing that you look for in a story as a storyteller that has to be just like a non-negotiable for you as a director to go? It has to have at least, because obviously, as this whole process, this whole film, anything is all a collaborative process, right? But as a director, you have that moment where you have to go, okay, this is something that I feel like I can tend my time to.
Yeah. I mean, this was my first feature, and I knew it was going to hurt. I had an idea of how much work was going to be involved. I've been in production a long time, and I've done a lot of different sizes of production, and I've worked on movies, but this was my first movie to direct. And it was, probably 10 times harder, and so, but I think the big question that you're asking for me, it's just like, I knew I had to know that I could get behind it, because it's not my script. I've directed stuff before that I wrote, and so I had to know that I could, the angle that I was going to tell this story from. And I think that's the main thing. I feel like I could get behind a lot of different stories, but I have to be able to own it and to know what I'm trying to do. And for this, it was as I read it more and more and got more excited about it, it was just trying to channel my 10-year-old self and kind of blend things that I liked, not just movies I liked, but things that I liked about movies at that age. And it's not just scary. I have a lot of scary movies from that time that I really am fond of, but also adventure movies and movies that there's just something unique about watching movies when you're young enough to really buy into it, and I think those movies leave a print on you and you want to show them to your kids when you're older. And I feel like in that way, a kid movie, I hate to call it a kid movie, but it can last longer than just, your standard indie drama or whatever.
Sure.
And so that I took as a challenge, but that's also what got me really excited about making a movie, for my 10-year-old self. I have a 9-year-old boy. I should have credited him as creative consultant. He read as much as I did. We spent a lot of time talking about different parts. And I think that took some of the pressure from there's challenges. We were an independent movie, a low budget movie. There's a lot of challenges that come with that territory, no matter what you're making. But the entire crew and cast, I felt like we were all on the same page on the type of movie we were making. And we all had a lot of fun with that. I think this type of movie, this sort of, if you want to call it PG Halloween gateway horror, I just feel like there's a huge amount of people that have a big soft spot for this type of thing. And so it was a lot of fun to be working on that on a movie like this, and I tried to keep it fun.
By a show of hands, who geeked out with Christopher Lloyd? Did anybody fan out with Christopher Lloyd? You can be honest.
Come on,
Rachel Lee
yeah.
Cook. I mean, come on.
No, so lucky on our big talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're very talented. All of you are. And there's no surprise. So I'm excited if people haven't had a chance to watch this yet. I recommend it. It's available in theaters and will be available to stream soon, I'm sure. Just a fun film. And now it's also urged lots of trips to the Spirit store now because my kid's looking around and lurking around the corners to see if he's going to run into you guys. Thank you all so much for your time. Congratulations and best of luck to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.